Good afternoon and welcome to M.M.E. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about Origins Wheeljack. Yeah, the Target exclusive. I managed to get a hold of a copy, and I am really excited to bring it to you today because it blew away all my expectations. I am very surprised by this figure, and out of the gate, I'm going to say it because of the way the transformation works and how nice that vehicle mode is, and the fact that the robot mode isn't half bad either. This is a contender for figure of the year, and today we're going to get into it and talk about why I think so. But first, please go below and hit the like button and share and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Everything you do on my channel goes a long way to helping me raise awareness for the blind and the visually impaired through alternative means and methods. This is including to, but not limited to, Transformers Origins Wheeljack. So let's first start off today's video by doing a little bit of a size comparison. I've got the Origin stuff here, and I also have a tetra-fighter from Siege because I absolutely love the tetra-fighters from Siege. They are my favorite Seekers that I've ever gotten. Now, I haven't had many Seekers in my lifetime, so, take that one with a grain of salt, but still, it was really cool, and I love how he just still looms over all of these figures. Like, look at this. Just this is really fun. So I'm gonna set Kingdom Wheeljack off to the side for a second, and I have Origins Wheeljack. We're gonna set him over here because first off, I want you to understand a few things. So let's bring in the stupid sword. I gave this one a sword so I could remember. I think this is Nacelle. So let's bring in Bumblebee first and do a little comparison with Nacelle here in Bumblebee. And we get that Bumblebee, the top of his head, goes right to, I'd say, the lower end of that energon chamber thing in the center of the chest. It's supposed to be the cockpit for jets or something, but in Siege was just an energon chamber. Yeah, so it goes to the bottom area of that for Bumblebee's head there. That's pretty neat. I'm going to set him off to the side here, do a little side comparison. The top of Bumblebee's shoulder goes to, raise your arm up here, Mr. Oh, we'll just set that weapon off to the side. We don't need that anyway. Okay, so let's see. Boom. There we are. And yeah, comes up to just above the hip, like right above the hip, right where the hip moves. So just a little lower than I thought on the chest area. But that's shoulder. So head height is at that area I was mentioning in the chest, but the shoulder goes just to the hip. Okay, so that's the Bumblebee. We're going to set the Bumblebee in front to do a better size comparison with Wheeljack in a moment. Bumblebee, thank you. What did you knock over here? Oh yeah, that piece. We'll talk about that in a moment. So here's Jazz from Origins to give you an idea of where Jazz stands to the Seekers from Siege. And the top of Jazz's head almost comes to the very top of this chest piece of the energon chamber on the front of the Siege Seeker mold. Now let's go ahead and do a side by side to show where the top of the shoulder goes for Jazz, and the top of the shoulder goes right below the shoulder area. There's a little tab actually right there for transformation purposes, and the top of Jazz's shoulder goes right to that tab on the Siege Seeker mold. Okay, and now finally, we're going to be comparing Origins Wheeljack. Here we go. Origins Wheeljack comes into play and goes right there. He midway up the chest, so he's kind of in the middle between Jazz and Bumblebee. So now that we've done all that, one more little size comparison so you get an idea of what's changed here between Kingdom Wheeljack and Origins Wheeljack. Kingdom Wheeljack. Oh my god. It's that arm again. Go down, Siege arm. Thank you. Alright, and boom. Kingdom Wheeljack stands almost at the same height as Jazz. So we're going to set the tetra-fighter over here off to the side where he can not get in the way for the rest of the video. And now let's go ahead and compare the sizes of these two Wheeljacks so you can understand the difference between Kingdom Wheeljack and Origins Wheeljack. Just a few years apart from each other. Kingdom Wheeljack being released in 2021, if I recall, or it could have been an Earthrise release, so that would make it 2020. And then here in 2024, we've got this other Wheeljack. Definite difference on weight, by the way. Kingdom Wheeljack is darn near light compared to Origins Wheeljack. Origins Wheeljack is a chunky guy. He's a heavy dude. he has got a big old weight on it. But Origins Wheeljack's head comes. Let's put them face to face. Okay, so the top of Origins Wheeljack's head goes to just below, or just at the chin for Kingdom Wheeljack's head. So the lower part of the chin for Kingdom Wheeljack is actually the top of the head for Origins Wheeljack. That is a big difference in size. That is a big difference in size, and that one surprised me. I wasn't expecting such a big size difference. And now we're going to compare them side by side real quick. And here we go, the side comparison. The shoulders are very close to the one another's height, but still, the Origins Wheeljack, I'd say, is a finger's width difference between shoulders there. I'd give it, maybe 5 millimeters in the height there. It's not even a Lego stud in difference. That is crazy. So the head may be a lot taller, but the shoulders work out near so. So that's the comparison with Kingdom Wheeljack, and a little weight differential on them. So we're going to set Kingdom Wheeljack over there. We're going to talk about that weird piece in a second. Now let's go ahead and compare the origins together only to start this video off with. Okay, so Bumblebee stands midway up the chest, almost all the way up the chest of Origins Wheeljack, but Origins Wheeljack still can look over him. It's actually kind of funny that Bumblebee stands against Origins Wheeljack, kind of how Kingdom Wheeljack stands against the Siege Seeker mold. It's almost the same in height differentials there. So let's go ahead and move over here, and then we get the top of the shoulder for Origins Bumblebee goes to the elbow joint for Origins Wheeljack. Just an understanding of how different they are. Origins Bumblebee is also almost light as a feather compared to Origins Wheeljack, which is a much heavier transformer. And actually, Origins Wheeljack used some heavier plastics in him because of the job he's got to do. Now, comparing Origins Wheeljack directly to Origins Jazz, and we get here that Jazz is just a smidge. Well, actually, shoulder-wise, they're on the same plane. Yeah, their shoulders are on the same plane. Isn't that nice? Okay, put them face to face, and lower your arm, please, sir. Lower your other arm, please, sir. We don't want anything getting in the way here. All right, there we go, and we get the fact that it's a smidge taller. Origins Jazz is just a smidge taller than Origins Wheeljack, and I'm not sure from the show, but I do know that Wheeljack wasn't taller than Jazz. So here's a Wheeljack Jazz combination here. We're gonna put them face to face, and we get the fact that Wheeljack is a smidge taller than Jazz on this end. It's actually funny. The difference in height between Kingdom Wheeljack and Jazz is almost the same difference in height between Origins Wheeljack and Jazz. It's just in the opposite direction, where Jazz is the taller bot. Where in the Kingdom Wheeljack versus Origins Jazz, Kingdom Wheeljack is in the taller position. So just a funny little coincidence there, a little bit of greatness. Okay, so let's go ahead and set the Origins figures down. We're going to put Bumblebee and Jazz right next to each other, and let's go over Origins Wheeljack here. And in the process of measuring, did stuff fall off you? Because sometimes things fall off. No. Excellent. Wonderful. So, let's talk about this figure, and I have to say that, other than his little wings being a little smaller than I was expecting, and his little wing things on his back, he's a great figure. His front is a bit squatter than I was also expecting, where a Kingdom Wheeljack here has got a front that kind of pumps out a little bit. It's got a little more on the outside texture where it seems to be, moving up and making a broader chest area. This one is more muted. You get those slats, but they're more on the sense of they're panels in his chest. He's also got I think that's a port. No, that's just parts of his chest. But it's flatter than the Kingdom one, but at the same time, it feels really nice in the hand. That is a good feeling chest, and I enjoy how it's rounded at the bottom. I enjoy how that all comes together pretty well for them. We've got some arms here that are big and blocky, like just big bruiser arms, and some hands here. You know, there's not much going on with these arms, but there is some panel texture that you could feel. But for this guy, you know, he was very smooth and sleek, so it's understandable. There's not that much going on the end of the different panels. It's just some lines going through where you can be like, okay, so different pieces were connected together. But other than that, there's not really much. His hands are really neat though. They spin, which is really nice. They don't have a big old honking thing on the back that makes it difficult to hold things, and they're a bit on the wider sense, and they also feel different. Like they feel like they may just they're better looking hands. That's what they feel like. They feel like better looking hands. Though I do wish we had gotten some maybe some C hands where they're just open and they had one of those siege clips inside of them. That way we could actually have him like typing on a computer. That would be cool. I would have liked to have seen that, but I am very happy with what I got here. Now he's got these weird spinny things on his underside of his forearm that they pop off on their own little pegs. I put a little sticky tack on one of them because it just kept falling, and so now it's held on a lot better. They feel like little saws, but their own little poles. They're neat. I do wish that their connection port had been different, but oh well. Coming up here to the head, we've got a head here that is really nice. It's a little smaller than the Kingdom head, but everything seems to come together nicely. I like his face plates. I like the gap for his eyes and the square ears that he has on either side of his head. It's really nice. I also like the way that his shoulder mounted gun fits in with a round siege port this time, so you can actually rotate it. So you can do scenes of him shooting off to the side or something. That's really nice. I appreciate that. That added an extra range of motion to this figure that the other one was lacking from Kingdom. Now, see, that was exactly what I was talking about. That little piece, it just, you witnessed it. It just fell off and it disappeared. Where did it go? Uh-huh. Yeah, that happens. I don't even know where that went. It's not in the figure. It just rolled down, and it either landed on the table over here, or it fell on my lap, and I'm gonna find it whenever I stand up later. But yeah, at the moment, look at that! It landed on the table. Perfect. So we're just gonna go ahead and set it on the table down there. It's a tiny piece. We're gonna go ahead and take off the other one. There it goes. That one's a bit harder to take off, but it's nice to have both of them just together. That way I don't lose either of them, and hopefully Cream doesn't show up and mess with them. Now, coming over here to his waist, we've got a really well sculpted out waistline. It's really nicely done, and it's smooth and sleek. You've got some lines there, but right here it really feels more on the elegant side, where less is more, and that's what we're getting here. Though we are getting some nice feeling notches in the thigh. Nobody ever sculpts the thigh, and they sculpted the thigh. I love it. They're sculpting the thighs more and more often. I wonder if somebody at Hasbro is watching me. Now, the knee only does a single joint, but it does go more than a 90, which is nice. The hips only go up at a 90. They go forwards a little more than a 90. They go backwards a little less than a 90, unless, of course, you were to pop off the backpack or something, and then you maybe get more range of motion there. There is a thigh rotation though, which is nice. Coming down here, we've got the rocker joint, side to side rocker joint for his feet, and unlike other figures, his feet actually rotate side to side. So it isn't just one way you can set him up, for his legs. Like you can actually have him leaning over the opposite direction on this leg. That's nice. That is a really cool universal hinge they have in that foot. That foot is really nice. I like it. Moves back and forth, side to side. This is a cool foot. I like the way they engineered that foot. Now, the paneling that they folded up around his legs does give him a beefier aspect. Like, this guy's wearing some big old boots or something. And it's big, it's blocky, and it just feels like it's the right thing for Wheeljack to have uh, as part of being on Cybertron. He would go for a blockier, less maneuverable mode, but has more storage because he's a scientist and he likes experimenting and exploring, and so he wants the storage space. He wants the ability to house a lot of tools, and I think my brain, I'm imagining this, that the this big clunky thing may have openings in it, and it feels like they kind of does. They did a wonderful job with the back sculpture that's going on there. You would think it would just be waffling, but they went ahead and sculpted in things on the underside to make the waffling not waffling, but instead something that's actually a part of the vehicle, like that's intended as part of the armor, a little style he got. And so that's cool. They hid the waffling by just pointing the waffling out and going, nah, it's his style to have his armor, etched in a way like that. And it's the same on both sides. Really nice. On the inner leg, we've got more of that, but we don't have gaps in this figure. There's no giant hollow gaps. Even whenever you pull the back of the this big old backpack up, you feel in here, and it's all perfectly straight. There's no big gaps. There's nothing hollow except if you fold the panel on his arm open, you get some hollowness there, but nothing like that. And then finally, it comes with this. Where did it go? I have it. Ah, here it is. I'm gonna knock stuff over again. It comes with this. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. But I did discover that you can kind of break it off. These little side panels, and then you flip them sideways, and you can put them back, clip them back on, and change the shape of it, which is neat. That's pretty cool. But I think this is supposed to be a space road or something. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I honestly don't, and I would like some help with that. Or it feels like there should be more to this than there is. Hey, come on. There it goes. And now we can flip this one around too. Now I don't know what this is about, but I was playing with it and discovered you could flip the pieces around and make something new out of it, but it's still just a weird piece of plastic that folds and doesn't seem to have any connectors for the robot. So let me know in the comments below, what am I supposed to do with this weird piece? They say it's a space bridge or just a roadway from Cybertron, but it's really, really thin, and it feels more like a roadway built for Micromasters. I guess you could put him on it. You could stand on it. Yeah, you can kind of stand on it. And fold up the sides. Maybe let's see. Let's fold up the sides when he's standing on it. Not really. Doesn't really work very well. What if I flip it upside down, and then he's standing on the inside? He's standing there. Just stand in the middle, sir. No, not over there. Over here. Thank you. Okay, and we're gonna fold up this side. I'm gonna fold up this side. Yeah. See, I don't know what's up with this. Like, why does it fold? What is it supposed to do? I am very curious about this. Anyone who's actually read the instructions, let me know in the comments below. What's going on with that piece? For now, I'm just going to put him on top of it, like a little, like he's got a little goblin thing from Spider-Man. The Green Goblin had the little flyer. Yeah, it's a goblin flyer for Wheeljack. He's going to throw pumpkins. Thanks for watching. You have a great day, and tune in tomorrow, where I'll be going over the transformation for this guy and explaining to you how to transform him into his really, really, really fun vehicle mode, and also the transformation ain't half bad either. Do you have anything to say on the screen? Huh? What is it? Yeah? You just want to give a headbutt? Yeah. Headbutts from Cream. He approves. Until next Pride, bye-bye for now. Please check out the Blindformers tomorrow.